Welcome back to the channel. Today I've made my way down to Lamborghini Charlotte, and behind me is the 2019 Lamborghini Urus. Huge shout out to them for providing this SUV for me today. I will have all of their contact information down in the description below. This model is finished off in Nero Noctis, and it has an MSRP right around $243,000. Under the hood is a 4-liter twin-turbo V8. This is only paired to the 8-speed automatic with steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. This engine produces 650 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 627 pound-feet of torque as low as 2,200 RPM. It is all-wheel drive, weighs around 4,800 pounds. 0 to 60 can happen in around 3 seconds. 0 to 124 is around 12.8 seconds. It can do the quarter mile in 11.4 seconds at 121 miles an hour and has a top speed of 189 miles an hour. And with a fuel capacity of 23 gallons, you can expect to see 12 miles per gallon in the city and 17 on the highway. The wheelbase measures 118.2 inches. It has an overall length of 201 inches. The width is 79, it has a height of 65 inches, and ground clearance is at 9.8 inches. Starting up front with the hexagonal shaped grille, you'll also notice there's hexagon patterns running throughout it. Right in the center of the grille is a forward-facing sensor as part of the advanced driving assistance. You'll see a forward-facing camera just underneath that, along with 6 parking sensors running throughout the lower section of the bumper. This comes with LED headlights along with LED daytime running lights. The turn signals have a nice Y-shaped design to them, and they replace the daytime running lights once they are activated. This has massive openings throughout the entire front section, allowing for even more airflow to the engine. There's great contours running throughout the lower section of the bumper as well. Has a very aggressive shape to it. As we make our way up to the hood, there's very clean lines running throughout it, and the hood lines even extend into the top section of the front end. Moving to the side, this has 21 by 9.5 inch wheels up front and 21 by 10.5 in the rear. They have a nice 5-spoke design to them, along with a 2-tone finish, wrapped in a Pirelli P0 summer tire. Carbon ceramic disc brakes are in all 4 corners. Up front you get 10 piston calipers with 17.3 inch rotors and 1 piston in the rear with 14.5 inch rotors. This can go from 60 to 0 in 110 feet. It has a limited slip central differential. 4-wheel steering is offered along with an adaptive suspension. With the suspension you can obviously raise and lower the vehicle, and you can improve the approach angle from 20.3 degrees at its minimum to 27.9, and the departure angle from 26.8 degrees to 28.3. The body colored side mirrors feature the integrated turn signal along with a camera underneath them as part of the 3D camera system. You can see a nice aluminum trim piece on the lower section of the door. Up top on the front quarter panel you have a nice air vent with the Lamborghini colors. And then as we make our way up to the top of the vehicle, it features a panoramic sunroof. And finishing up in the rear with the body colored spoiler and integrated third brake light, this has a very steeply raked rear window, blending it in nicely with the side profile. This has a spoiler. Just below that is Lamborghini spelled out in between the LED taillights. They also feature a Y design to them as well. This has a backup camera with 6 parking sensors. You can see more of that aluminum in the lower section of the bumper. This has a towing capacity up to 7,000 pounds, and down below is the quad tip dual exhaust. So that is going to finish up with the exterior walk-around on the 2019 Lamborghini Urus. This is the first time that I've been able to check one out in person, and I really like it. I love the overall styling to it. It really has that Lamborghini design to it. Huge brakes in the front, really nice looking set of wheels. This was inspired from the Lamborghini LM002. It hasn't been produced in quite some time, but that's where they got the inspiration for this SUV. But now with the key, it's time to hop into the inside now, and as long as I have the key on me, I'll just place my hand in the door handle and it will automatically unlock. Taking a look at the door panel now, you'll see a lot of premium feeling materials. There's wood grain and brushed aluminum on the top section, along with around the release handle with your lock and unlock in front of that, and piano black trim running around it. The color of this leather is Narrow Aid. It has a really nice deep tone to it. You can see there's Alcantara above the armrest. You have all of your automatic up and down windows along with the power adjustments for the mirrors. They are also heated as well. You have leather on the grab handle with more stitching running down the side of it. Down below are some other seat memory adjustments adjustments along with the power liftgate. This has a Bang & Olufsen sound system, really nice aluminum surrounding that speaker, and then you have a storage cubby spot behind that. Moving inside now to the leather seats. They are finished off in narrow aid. You can see Lamborghini embossed in the headrest there. Beautiful stitching running down the bolstering. They are heated and ventilated and also feature the massaging setting, which is located in the front portion of the seat. They have a 12-way adjustability along with lumbar support as well. Once inside, we're greeted with a fully wrapped black leather steering wheel. You can see more of that color match stitching running throughout the middle of it. You can see a brushed aluminum piece right in the top center, along with down below. Has a nice flat bottom design to it. Again, this has these steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. You can see they're quite large, have a really nice design to them. You can easily see them behind the steering wheel there. All of these controls are for your Bluetooth along with tuning and volume for the radio. You have a customizable button right next to that. And then these buttons on the left side of the steering wheel will control the center screen. Looking at the digital gauge cluster here, you can see on the far left is the engine temperature. You have your fuel level on the far right. And then right in the center is about a 12-inch screen. You can see right now I have the navigation pulled up on the far left. Just using those arrow buttons on the steering wheel, we can look at your average MPG and scroll down to your short-term and long-term memory. Along with your driver assistance, we can scroll over to the radio. You have your Bluetooth when that is connected. You can also use the scrolling dial to zoom in and out of that, which is very nice to see. Right in the center, you have your large tach. It shows you what driving mode you're in, along with your miles per hour right on the lower section. And then using the view button on the steering wheel, looking at the right side of the gauge cluster here, we can look at some other vital information. You can see the time and date right now. You can see your average MPG again. You have your long and short-term memory, along with a G meter. You have your tire pressure, obviously, for all four wheels, along with your power and torque as live readouts. You have another meter for that. Your pitch and roll, so if you do happen to take this off-road, you're able to look at that information. One thing to note as well, if we change the driving mode, so coming down to the center stock here using this button here, we're in Strata right now, which is the default setting. If we go down to sport mode, so on the left side, it'll show you your G meter along with your tire pressure. You have your power and torque now on the left side, along with the live readout. If we go ahead and change it now into Corsa mode, you'll see the entire tach change. Now we have the G meter and boost on the far right, and then you still have that same vital information on the far left. If we go all the way down into the off-road settings now, you can see you have your pitch and roll are shown up on the left side, and then where the power is being sent to on the right. To the left of the steering wheel, you have more of that leather along with the headlight controls. There's a brushed aluminum and wood trim inlay above that, one air vent in the hexagonal shape pattern. Moving up to the dash now, it's completely covered in leather. When you turn the vehicle on, you will see the speaker in the corner up here. This also has the heads-up display with Alcantara surrounding that. And then as we make our way to the center, you'll see two air vents above two more screens. There are multiple settings in this center screen that you can go through. Right now I'm on the home screen, so you can see your radio, media, your Bluetooth, but on the left side is basically shortcuts to all of those. So you can see you have your music, along with your Bluetooth and radio. Navigation is at the far bottom. You do have pinch to zoom in and out, which is a nice touch to see. If we go back to the home button now, I'm gonna go into the Urus there, and you'll see Lamborghini settings here. So all of the different driving modes. When you click on them, you'll see the picture on the right side change, along with the ride height. So you can see it raising or lowering depending on the mode that you're in, so it will automatically set you to that. Going into lighting and visibility, you can change the interior and exterior lighting. You have your driver assistance that you can go into and change it from maximum, individual, or basic, depending on what you'd like it to do. Going into the seats, you can control the bolstering around your back and your thighs, and you can adjust the lower section of the seat forwards or backwards just by holding on those buttons there. And if we scroll over to the right, you have all the massaging features, so you can activate that very easily. Going into the air conditioning, you have all of your normal features. The heated steering wheel, you can sync with the rear. This does have a 4-zone climate control, so you can go into the rear settings and be able to change them. Beneath that screen, you have traction control along with your hazards and some other defrost buttons. And then you have a third screen right down below here. On the top of it, however, you have the engine start-stop feature, so when you come to a stop, you can have that activated. You have your downhill assist control along with lane keeping assist. Pushing on this button here just brings up your AC controls to a larger screen, or you can hide that and have some presets running above that. You have a garage door button next to that. You have your heads-up display, so you can control everything with that. And then if you do want that upper screen off, you have the option to turn that on and off. Getting into this lower screen now, again, this has heated and ventilated seats, so you can see you have 3 different settings for each of those for driver and passenger. There's more AC controls in the middle. If we just push on these 3 buttons here, you'll actually see the AC functions appear on the upper screen there. But just by pushing on the hexagonal shaped button in the center, that will turn on your AC. So obviously you have the temperature for driver and passenger on each side. You can push on the seat itself, and that will adjust your seat settings on the upper screen. So this is back to being able to adjust the forward section of the seat along with the bolsters. Basically a quick shortcut into that. And then right in the middle is the fan speed, so we can click on that, pull it up in even more a full screen view. And that is pretty much it for all of the settings on that screen. Moving below that, you have a power and volume button for the radio. And then right in the center, you have all of the controls for the different driving modes, along with your suspension, steering, and transmission, along with the gear selection right in the center. So with the vehicle on now, we'll go over all of the different modes on the left side. This is all of the different driving modes. There's 6 of them total. The bottom 2 are for off-road. So you saw me earlier toggling between all of these, and you can see it change on the gauge cluster between Strada, Sport, Corsa, and you have the bottom 3 here. So it's very easy to go through all of those different modes. Right in the center, again, you have the start-stop button with park to the left, and then on the right side is the manual button. So you can push that to activate using the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters again. So to put this vehicle from park into drive, you're just gonna pull on the right side here. That automatically puts you into first gear. You can see we're in drive right now. If I push on M, that will change us into manual mode. To put the vehicle into reverse, we're just gonna push on this entire pad all the way back like that, and you will see the backup camera activated. This does have a 3D camera system again, so you can see the top-down view on the far right, and then the backup camera on the left side. If I just push on this, that will pull up all of the different angles that you can see. So starting on the far left, you have a forward-facing camera. There's a forward-facing with a wide view. We can scroll to top-down. You have the backup camera, which you just saw, a backup with a wide angle. And then you can also see where the front axles are located and where the rear axles are located. So this is a very nice system to be able to see. Working our way back to the right side here, we can control the suspension, the steering, the transmission. So going down to suspension now, we can change that from smooth, medium, supportive, and then moving to steering wheel, you have these same different settings, and then with the transmission, we can do that as well. And then coming back to the stock here with Ego, if we just pull back on that, that will activate basically adaptive modes. Behind all of those controls, you have the electronic parking brake. You can pull up the 3D camera just by pushing on that, so you don't have to be in reverse in order to see that. You have your driver assistance button to the right of that, so you can control that. You have 2 cup holders to the side, along with more of the black finish. Working our way to the center console, it has a really nice design to it with more of that leather. We can go ahead and pull that up. You have a wireless charging port along with 2 USBs in the front section and a little bit of storage on the right side. As we make our way over to the glove box now, you definitely have a lot of room. You can see Lamborghini above that with more of the brushed aluminum and wood trim along with more hexagonal shapes on that. Has a really nice look to it. We'll take one last look at these leather seats. Again, they have a really nice design to them, very premium feeling. And as we make our way up, again, this has the full panoramic roof. You have all those controls up top along with the touch sensitive dome lights. Now it's time to make our way into the back seats, and the door panels finished off just like up front with more of the Alcantara and leather, really nice wood and aluminum trim pieces, and you have a lot of storage space down in the bottom there. You can get this as a 4-seater or a 5-seater. This particular model is the 4-seater, so let's go ahead and hop in. Behind both front seats, you have some storage space for anything that you need. There's 2 air vents in the center, and then the other 2 climate controls are in the back here. So you can see you have temperature on the outside, along with fan speed right in the middle. These are heated rear seats as well, so you have the option to do that with some more AC controls in the middle, along with off right in the center. And then down below, you have 2 12 volts. Talking about overall legroom now, I have the front seat set at my height 5'10", and you can see I have about 4 or 5 inches in front of my knees, and then about 2 or 3 inches above my head. So actually it's very spacious. I like that this option has the 2 seats in the back, so you have a lot more room in between them. Very nice, comfortable bucket seats, and the attention to detail is just like you would expect up front with very nice stitching. You have a nice hexagonal pattern running down the center there. As we make our way to the middle portion here, you have 2 cup holders with a little tray in front of that, and then a very deep center storage with 2 USBs in the back. And then looking at the center here, there's a leather wrapped strap here. If we just unhook that, we can pull this down, and that gives you access to the back storage space. So if you have to put anything through, you have the option to do that. And then we'll take another look out of the back glass. With it being steeply raked from the outside, it doesn't hinder visibility from the inside, so you can clearly see the vehicles behind there, and you have some nice glass on the side there for even better visibility. Now it's time to take a look at the rear storage space. I'm just gonna hold the button on the key fob. You can walk up to the vehicle obviously and do that as well. You have about 21.7 cubic feet of storage space. There's a little bit of a net on the left side along with a 12 volt and a little indentation on the far right. You can also control the height of the vehicle just by pushing up or down on this. That will help you in being able to load items into the vehicle. Looking underneath the floor mat here, you have a little bit more storage for any miscellaneous items along with some toolkits and things like that. And then again, you have that cut through the seats for anything that you need, and a removable cover up here if you have any larger items. And then as we make our way up top, we can either close the liftgate or close and lock it at the same time. So just moving the Urus around now in order to do the final portion of this video, we can take a look at the backup camera while I'm maneuvering into this spot here, and hopefully you can see it there. Very easy again to maneuver. I really like the feel of this vehicle. Even though I've only been in it around the parking lot here, I could definitely see this being a very fun vehicle to drive. Just by putting it into all the different modes here, this would definitely be an awesome vehicle to even get out on some back mountain roads. I love everything on the inside. The steering wheel has a really nice feel to it. The driving seat is super comfortable. There's not a whole lot of buttons either. I really like the fact that you have minimal buttons on the steering wheel, but at the same time, you have 3 screens with all of this technology that you can easily go through. It's not too confusing. These stocks look intimidating, but they have a really cool aggressive look to them, almost like you're in a fighter jet or something like that. But it's very easy to use. They're all labeled very well. Everything is extremely nice inside as well. All of the materials, you have brushed aluminum, wood inlays, leather, you have leather on the seats, plenty of back storage space room too, and you have the option to get a 5th seat in the back. So honestly, even though I didn't get to drive the Urus today, this would be a phenomenal car to get out on the roads. Well, that's gonna finish up taking a look at the 2019 Lamborghini Urus. Comment down below, what do you think of this SUV from Lamborghini? I honestly love it. I love everything about it. All of the materials on the inside are really nice, and I could not imagine getting this out on the road and having some real fun with it. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and we'll see you in tomorrow's video.